So hey, welcome back to TNTV, and here we are today on location in Portugal. So why are we in Portugal, you might ask? So once a year, what Nicki and me do, because we found that, look, if our health starts to go downhill, then what happens is our relationship starts to we get a bit moany, a bit naggy with each other. So that is a detrimental effect. So we make sure that we get our health as high as we can, and over a year it sometimes starts to slowly fade away down the slippery slope, I often say. So we come away once a year to put our health first.
Yeah, so what we've been doing here, which is very common in cleansing places, but this is particularly wonderful because we're in a little valley, we're miles away from anything, there's no shops anywhere near, there's nothing, it's just this lovely location. And what we're here to do is to give our bodies a complete rest. So what happens is you wind down, so you stop eating, I don't need to tell you what's unhealthy, alcohol, sugar, obviously lots in alcohol, and some of the meat products and dairy and all those sorts of things. So you come here and you wind down, and then you just have juices every day, but not just any old juices. They're actually combined to really cleanse the body. Take some supplements which also helps to cleanse the body, and then what you do is you do lots of rest. We have loads of great therapies.
I'll tell you what we could do. Let me just run through what you do in a day, so you just get a sort of a sense of how it's a complete change. So it's not really just about your healthy body, it's really about healthy mind, healthy emotions, and blowing back your spirit up. Sometimes we get dispirited, over Absolutely. COVID season. If you're anything like me, I kept going to that fridge, and there was two problems with that. One is I was putting less and less healthy things in the fridge, and secondly, I'm going to the fridge more because I was sort of stuck at home. I was working at home, working harder than actually when we weren't on COVID alert. So I don't know whether that was for you, but that was definitely for us. We put extra hours in, not less hours.
Yeah.
So that fridge, started to become a bit addictive, we always call it. So
yeah, and before you go on to what we do here every day, actually the other thing, and this is like, in our family, us two, Tony's the cook, which is, quite common nowadays. But often what we found is gradually, since the last time we cleansed, Tony would give me pretty much the same as him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a lot smaller than he is. So I found that I was putting weight on, even though we were eating pretty healthily most of the day. Our time was always that snack time, late at night. We even went keto to try and stop ourselves eating after 8.
We did well on keto, to be fair. We did keto for a long time on the old bulletproof regime. If you never looked at that, we came down the old scales. But something then gives. And this is why you need to sometimes, if you want a healthy love life, healthy relationship, you have to have a healthy you. Because 2 healthy yous means a healthy relationship. So like the sort of thing you just get here, and honestly the investment's not gigantic, is affordable for pretty much everybody. I know some people are living in tough times, but look, if you go on holiday on a normal holiday, this would probably cost you less than a normal holiday. So come into this beautiful retreat here. They give you like a bit of a routine, and it's pretty free flow. They're not forcing you to do anything. So you're always, as they say, always in choice. But they wake you up at 7 o'clock with a bit of a bell. They come round and ring a bell, and then you're in choice. You can stay in bed or you can get up. Most people get up, and then they do like healthy early morning drink, which is basically hot water and lemon, which is one of our favourites. And then at 8 o'clock, they do 2 hours. Now, this is pretty full on, in fact. It's 2 hours of yoga. Now, I've never really done yoga in my life. I tend to hang in there for about an hour, and I don't do it every day because they've got a beautiful swimming pool, and I'm a bit of a swimmer, so I do yoga one day and then I swim because I can swim quite a way. Today I did a mile, just a nice little mile, and that's good exercise too.
Let me just come in there. So of course, funny enough, this morning, just before we made this video, I actually, for the first time in the 16, this is day 16 for us. It's we're doing quite a long cleanse. You can do 7 days here, you can do 11 days, you can 10 days, you can do longer like we are, combine the two. But I decided to stay in bed this morning. It was so lovely. I was pottering around in my room, doing all the little things we do, which we'll tell you about later. And but most days I'll go up, watch Tony do a few lengths, get him some more hot water and lemon, or maybe with some hot ginger in it or something, all to cleanse the body. And then I'll go in and do yoga, and it's different every day. It's a different yoga teacher every day. And I've found the ones because I'm like Tone, like we've done yoga at other retreats, haven't we? We've kept it up for a bit at home, but we're not. I've found the yoga that I am so determined I'm going to do when I get home, and I absolutely loved it. I stayed in yoga for 2 hours. I mean, I've never
you loved it.
done
Even
that.
I did. This is called Drew Yoga. They do 2 types of yoga here. The other one is called...
We call it Brummy Yoga.
Yeah, we call it Brummy Yoga.
Yeah,
but so Drew Yoga on the one hand, and I'm trying to think of the name of the other one.
Oh, the Sivananda.
Sivananda,
which is
a
an
very
Indian.
Indian
Oh, it's
thing.
beautiful.
But very beautiful, very beautiful.
Lots of breathing, lots of
once
stretching.
you've done your 2 hours of yoga, you're now at 10 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock you get this beautiful juice. Now, in Portugal, they're said to have the best oranges on the planet for health. And I've never really known orange juice as being a health juice. And certainly if you're going to Sainsbury's and buying whatever they used to call it, Sunny whatever, Delight, I think. I don't think they do it anymore. That is like toxic stuff, yeah. But when it's fresh out the orange, so they get a big basket of oranges. There's about 10 of us on the retreat. And they just do, a jug of orange, beautiful jug of orange. And you also have some stuff called psyllium husks and some clay, which sounds a bit weird, but actually it fills you up. So at no time in our time here have we felt hungry. You do not feel hungry, because that's a lot of people go, I don't know if I want to just have juice for a couple of weeks or a week even. But actually you never feel hungry, because the psyllium husks not only fill you up, but they gouge all the insides of your system and get rid of all years worth. I mean, you cannot believe, if you're a person that has got a little bit more weight in your body than you really like to have, that was definitely us two as we went back up the weight scale.
I went a lot up the weight scale.
Yeah, you realise how some of that stuff is inside of you is stuck. So if your relationship is stuck, often it can be because stuff inside you is stuck. So you get emotionally stuck. And when you're emotionally stuck, your relationship starts to get stuck. So cleansing all that out with these psyllium husks it's honestly, it's super easy to do. So you drink lots of water. So 10 o'clock, you have your juice. And they give you some tablets to help you. So they give you some nutritional stuff. They give you stuff to help your system
Pancreatic.
release. All sorts of little bits and bobs supplement-wise to sustain you through. Yeah. It's all really good. And then basically from 10 till 1 you've got you time, and obviously lots of people sit around the pool.
There's the therapy, what they call the clinic, where there is Thai massage.
They've got about 10 different therapists.
Therapy. Yeah, there's loads.
Yeah,
of
where
those.
You can choose throughout the week what therapies you do.
There's also a bed you can go and lie on where you're like on a vibrating bed. Doesn't vibrate
lots and lots
lot.
of bits. There's a thing here called a zapper, because humans, like animals, for example, you've heard of your dog getting worms or your cat getting worms and you have to give them worm tablets. Well, humans can get that sort of thing. You get little parasites inside, you get all sorts of little bugs and beasts. So they have these things called zappers, which actually sadly kill all those little bugs. And then they flush out through the time that you're here. So then 1 o'clock you have another juice. Now you're going to have a beautiful juice that's like a mixture, and every day you get something different. And again, after that, again, a lot of people do therapies, lots of people have downtime. So 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, then you have another juice at 4 o'clock. We actually have 2 juices. You have a little shot glass of a separate little juice, which are very beautiful. They're absolutely lovely. And your main juice. So, and then they do a little talk all about health. I have learned so much about health this week. I mean, I've been studying this sort of stuff for 20 years. But whenever you go somewhere, they've got a great guy here, a great couple, Ed, who's a nutritionist expert. He knows every last little detail about every food and how it all works. He is.
Of health.
And he does these talks about how your body works and what you can eat and what's better to eat to maintain your health once you've got healthy.
Yes.
How do you maintain it when you go home? Stuff like that.
Just while we're talking about Ed, Ed and Debbie, who are a couple, there's 2 couples and 2 guys who actually run the retreat. They're all absolutely great energy, lovely, lovely people. And Ed and Debbie toured the what do you call it, the East, Thailand and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Indonesia and all that sort of stuff. And therefore, on the first day, funny enough, normally when you go to something like this, sometimes you have a bit of a sort of third day where, you know, it's started to move things, but you haven't had everything come out the other end, as it were, or through anything, because obviously we're letting out stuff through air, through our breathing, through our, you know, every orifice, yeah. So and mine was obviously stuck, good word. And so I said to Ed, I'd like a Thai massage. And a Thai massage is like in their temple, which we'll tell you a bit more about in a minute, because it's such a beautiful space. He just laid me on a big mat, and it's a bit like shiatsu, but it's like a massage, but it's pushing, it's stretching, but it doesn't hurt a bit. And what he did was he just worked. It's like having reflexology on the whole of your body. It was absolutely amazing, and literally all the sort of aches and pains, all the feeling, just literally disappeared in the matter of an hour. It was absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
He's
beautiful.
great. Debbie,
Debbie's
they're
great.
all
They both
fabulous,
do it. Debbie teaches yoga. So lovely couple. The other couple were called Chris and Karen. Also, they've studied the Shivanandra yoga. They do ashram retreats and all sorts of things. So they are like real experts on that sort of that sort of yoga-y sort of stuff that we've never really done. Which is absolutely amazing. So
and let's just say, I mean, we've actually not only taught people healthy eating based on what we've learned over the last 20 years or so, we've actually done cleanses ourselves. So to come to somewhere like this and be so, you know, impressed, because we have a very high standard for how we operate in our health life or in our lives in general. This is a very good place to come.
The other great instructor is Richard Brooke. He's authored a really cool book actually, which I'm working my way through. We'll probably put the link for that for you as well at the end. Very insightful on health and a little bit about his story, how he came from a difficult place to, you know, live in an amazing place like this and actually share his knowledge and wisdom with others. Where do we get to? 4 o'clock. So you might be having treatments and stuff like that, and then at 7 o'clock you have a bit of a broth, and then after 7 o'clock at 8 o'clock, then there's an optional another like a meditation. We've done a beautiful visioning spiral walk, which was absolutely excellent.
Yeah, because we were visioning. It's such a perfect time for us to come here because
it was great.
Retired from the business and really put our full time into our legacy of intimate relationships, of course. But we visioned the future and how we're going to assist more people in their intimate relationships. So it's been a fantastic
we also had
experience.
There's a beautiful thing to get rid of your trapped emotions, which you do with Chris, which he learned in India, called the fire ceremony. And he creates this beautiful little ceremony where you bring up all the things that you'd really love to get rid of and you throw them in the fire. But I've done that sort of thing before, but I've never done it like that before, and it was amazing to do it as a bit of a group.
We also do like a blessing before every juice. Now, you know, you might go, oh, you've gone too far now, Tony and Nicki V. But, you know, this is like, it's like ceremonial. And this is something that Tony and I used to do always. Every time we sat down to eat together, we'd have our own way of just sharing before we eat. Because so often, don't we? We eat on the run, we grab, we eat too fast. Obviously, when we break the fast, which is tomorrow morning, you know, we'll be reminded something we knew before, which is we ought to take more time between mouthfuls. You know, we're going to be reminded of all of that. So it's such a great education for a start, a reminder if this is something that you have been. And there's loads of other things to do. I mean, we've watched lots of films, haven't we? And we've
some great personal development films, spiritual development stuff. So
and
so
the football. We watched the football last night.
We did yesterday. Yeah, we actually managed to get Sky go to it. So look, you bring your life here for a week, 2 weeks maybe, even more. That's all. Everything's possible. But look, all I know is here we are, day 16. We're feeling amazing, feeling super connected again. Not that we weren't super connected, but you know, when you're healthier, you've got rid of that weight. Probably combined, we're going to have lost a couple of stone, which is quite incredible, really. Yeah. So, of course, once you're not, you know, when you think of that weight, you know, imagine carrying that around in a basket or a bag. You know, that's incredible that you're carrying it around automatically. So, a lot of people come here for weight loss, but you know, honestly, you lose much more value than just the weight. because with the weight goes, as I say, negative emotions, some of those old mental patterns that aren't serving you, and you really wake your spirit up by living in nature. It's about 15-16 hectare acres, which is like 30 acres here, so you can have a wander around.
Oh, lots of walking.
There's loads of stuff going on that you can do. So,
if you take care of your health, and that even means if you think you're eating healthily, maybe you're not in a healthy place in your mind, in your thoughts, in your body, or in your life. This kind of thing will help you massively in your relationship, or if you're, in a desire to be in a relationship.
So that's pretty much it. It's gone on a little longer than we thought, but look, hey, it's all perfect. If you've watched to the end, thank you very much. We're going to put the website up, the link for this particular resort, because honestly, we would wholeheartedly recommend it. As I say, the team of Chris and Karen and Debbie and Ed, and then we've got Richard, and we have a great Ukrainian guy who makes lots of the juices.
Called Ivan.
Ivan, yes, he's amazing too. Stays a bit more in the background. But yeah, it's really worth looking it up. The website's pretty good. There's lots of videos on there, and it's absolutely easy to book. And it's easy to fly from the UK. You can come on British Airways, you can come on Ryanair, depending on what airport you're coming from, straight to Fire Road. They come and pick you up. It couldn't be easier, honestly. So, yeah, getting your life to a 10 out of 10 is our dream for you. And getting your health firing up that scale will almost definitely push your relationship up the scale at the same time. So that's it from us here in Portugal. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.
The devas and the nature spirits, we thank you for the juice we're about to receive. Blessings on the juice.